What's going on, my YouTube folk, man? We back in the building for the real Fourth and Talk. It's your main man, Diesel. And unfortunately, my co-host, Al, the Snowman, ain't here today. Drew the Snowman. You know, it's the holidays, man. Everybody just came back from celebrating the holidays with family. We about to break in the new year. And so next session, he'll be here, man, God willing. For everybody, man, I hope you had a great holiday, man. And let's go crack into these new slate of games for Sunday, man. The first games that we're going to open up with are 1 o'clock games. And the first one on slate is the Buccaneers is opened up with 2.5-point favorites over the Carolina Panthers. And the over-under is 39.5. This is a huge game on the levels of playoff positioning because the division's still wide open. If Tampa Bay wins, they're in. And if the Panthers went out, they in. You know, the Saints is still mathematically in it, but realistically, they're not going to win the division. Oh man, so this is what they paid Tom Brady the big bucks for, man. It's in Tampa. It's a hard game to call, man, because I just don't believe in Tampa Bay's offense. I like what the Panthers did against the Lions last week. I thought that was a game I didn't see really coming. I think that the bettors definitely saw it coming as far as the Sharps. I think the squares is mostly on the Lions, but hey, man, they came and played, man. You know, division game. The Panthers at this point been playing better football, but it's hard to go against the Buccaneers. So for this one, I'm just going to go with the home team for the 2.5 points, and I'm gonna just take it to the under, man. I don't really think it's going to be a high scoring game. You know, for the Bucks to win, they normally kind of keep it in a low scoring range, let the defense do what it's doing. So just give me the Buccaneers, man. You know, I'm not going to fall for the Panthers stuff, man, because Panthers is a hot and cold team. The next game is another playoff contender, which is the Commanders are 2.5-point favorites over the Cleveland Browns, who just had a straight up letdown game last week against the Saints. They shouldn't have lost that game, but it's football. And the over-under is 40.5. To be honest, and Carson Wentz is starting this game for Washington. I understand that they don't want to go with Heineke. I think they think that Wentz will be a better quarterback leading them into the postseason. I don't believe that personally. I don't trust Carson Wentz. I don't think Carson Wentz got it. I think Carson Wentz, the people on his team don't believe in Carson Wentz. And at this point, man, look, you trying some new stuff at the wrong time, man, straight up and down. So for me, I'm going to give Deshaun Watson another play, man, because I think they can play spoiler. Okay, so I'm going to go with the Browns, man. I'm going to take the 2.5 with the Browns, and I give it an over game. I'm going to give it an over game. It's one of those freaky games they'll probably go over. And I can see the Browns actually winning this game. Okay. My next game on the slate is the Eagles. Are 7.5-point favorites over the Saints. And the over-under is 44.5. Gardner Minshew will be starting again because they're going to kind of keep Jalen Hurts on ice, which is a smart decision. You know, only thing the Eagles are playing for at this point is to have the playoffs run through Philly, which it's going to go through Philly, no doubt about it. And on the flip side of that one, the Saints, like I said, is still mathematically in the equation. 7.5 is a lot to be laying in this game. If it was fully staffed and fully healthy, then I'm taking the 7 all day long. They're blowing the Saints out. But being that they're down 2 offensive linemen, right, and that's a huge factor. And Gardner Minshew is what he is. He's a backup, straight up and down. They'll win the game. Possibly win the game. But for the points, give me the Saints for the points, man. And, man, this is one of borderline over-under picks for me. So I'm just going to say right now, it'll probably be more of a defensive battle. So give me the under in this game, man. It's hard to take Philly at the under spot, but give me Philly at the under, man. Our next game, which is a meaningless game. This is a meaningless game. Both of these teams are out the playoffs. It don't even matter. Okay, you just evaluating talent at this point. It's the Atlanta Falcons, 4.5-point favorites over the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, and the over/under is 41.5. Once again, it's a meaningless game, man. You're probably gonna go more with the home team because at least Atlanta got something to play for as their home team. At least going out with a win at home for their home crowd. In Arizona, man, they packed it in, man. This has been a crazy season. Started with Kyler Murray and that whole contract stipulation and him not watching film, and it was just a mess this year, man. It's terrible for Arizona, man. The boy TJ Watt is retiring. He's gonna be done after this year. So once again, one team I feel just going to just chalk it all the way up, which is the Cardinals. Have nothing really to play for. And I think that the boy Ritter, man, will actually get his first win and give the home team something to cheer about. Look forward to next year, maybe. Okay? So give me Atlanta in a meaningless game. All right? Our next game is also a game that at this point it really holds no value. All right? And it's the Jacksonville Jaguars, 4.5-point favorites against the Texans at home. All right? And it's over under 43.5. Right now, Texas actually been playing some really good football lately, man. They've really been in these games. It's crazy because I thought they was really going to be going for the bus and just, tanking this season so they could get that number one pick. But maybe the boy Mills is actually starting to step up and say, look, man, if you give me the right players around me, I can make some things happen. And why it's meaningless for Jacksonville? Because even if they win this game, it's still going to come down to next week against the Titans for the division, So at this point, we don't know if they're going to just play for the momentum and just say, hey, because they have been playing real good football of late, or they say, you know what, we're going to rest some of our players because I'd rather have them play next week when the game really counts against blowing an injury in this game when it don't mean nothing. So that's why I'm going to take the home team just for that reason, because I don't know if Jacksonville is going to really come out with his starting unit and really try to play this team because, once again, you don't want to risk a fluke injury. And next thing you know, you're looking like the dumbest coach ever for you played your best players for a meaningless game, So just give me Texans at home to cover. They might win it. Once again, they might tank it and blow this game just so they can get the number one pick. That's the unknown factor right there. All right. And for the over-under, man, meaningless. Just give me the under. Meaningless game. Give me the under. Our next game, which is huge. Because this one team, which is the Lions, is 6.5-point favorite over the Bears. Lions just came off a disappointing loss, man. They should not have lost to the Panthers, especially with the momentum they had, man. That was a terrible loss at that spot. Because if they would have won that game, now they really control their fate when it comes to the postseason, right? Now they need Washington to lose. They're going to need the Giants to lose for them to even try to make the postseason, right? First, they got to handle business against the Bears. The Bears probably are going to tank and lose this game because even if they get the number one pick, right, now they got leverage because they don't need a quarterback, so they're probably not going to get a quarterback. What they're going to do is probably go look on the board for the player they want because they're going to put a whole lot of defense next year in the draft. I promise you they're going to go defense and probably give them a couple more weapons, some offensive weapons, but mostly they're going to concentrate on defense. It's still a division game, but I think at this spot right here, the Lions will probably blow them out because of what happened last week and how they blew that game. So it's going to make it interesting for the final week, So give me the Lions at home, and I'm definitely taking over. I can't take no under game with the Lions and the Bears. Bears don't play defense, and Lions can't put up points. So give me the over, and give me the Lions for the 6.5. Our next game is another team that is mathematically in it still is New England Patriots. 2.5-point favorites on the Miami Dolphins. As we know, Tua Tagovailoa is in concussion protocol, so he won't be starting this game. They're gonna have to back up in this game. Last week, the Patriots came off a disappointing loss, but I'm not surprised. They actually had a great comeback. They just blew it at the end against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm not taking Miami with no backup quarterback. I'm just not. And Belichick will have a scheme ready to go. So it's going to be interesting. Miami, Miami still controls their fate, but more than likely, Miami will get in. So I'm liking the Patriots at home for the 2.5, man. This is a game they should be able to win. And there's always going to be a defensive game, but this particular game, because I don't think Miami's going to be able to put up the points with them, just give me the Patriots and give me the under. All right. Our next game is the Chiefs, 13.5-point favorites over the Broncos. As we know, Nathaniel Hackett got fired, as he should have. He should have got fired. You had no control of your team. You didn't play Russell Wilson to his strengths. The defense, you had a top 3 defense. The defense got when the defense gave up, you already know it was over. Now the defense on there want to play. They don't believe in Russell Wilson. You know, that's been like a biggest flop, the biggest miss. Oh my God, that just like, man, he don't care. He 252 mil. He don't care, you know. But 13 and a half points in a division game, nah. Nah. Give me the Broncos, man. Give me the Broncos, man. I'm not taking the Chiefs with 13 and a half. I know they home. I know they got the better team. I know they're still playing for that #1 spot between them and the Bills, so that they definitely wanted to come through Kansas City, but I honestly think it's going to go through Buffalo. Man, it's crazy, man. It's going to be a crazy game, but yeah, just give me the Broncos, man. Just give me the Broncos. And the last 1 o'clock game is Giants, 5.5 point favorites over the Indianapolis Colts. The Giants, they win, they in. Why not better, man? Set it up for your home team. Go out there, man. Do what you gotta do. Beat up on the Colts. Colts is reeling, man. You know, hope they ain't going to hire Jeff Saturday next year. You know what I mean? So right now, it's just a mumble jumble mess up there in Indianapolis. A wasted year, terrible year. They didn't fire their coach. They didn't chop pit Jeff Saturday, and that experiment went bad. It was only good for 1 game, and that was against the Raiders. Come on, let's be serious. So yeah, give me the Giants. I think they'll get it done. I think they'll beat them convincingly. And you know, it's the Giants game, so just give me the over in this game, man. Believe it or not, give me the over. And that's the end of our 1 o'clock games. We'll be back for the 4:25 games. All right. Hey y'all, man, we back for the afternoon games, and we're gonna start off with the first game being the New York Jets, 1.5 point favorites over the Seattle Seahawks. Mike White will be back in. It's over under 42.5. Right now, man, Seahawks are reeling, man. Geno Smith is who he is, man. You know, he made the Pro Bowl, so he had a good first half of the season. But now I think it's starting to catch up. You know what you're getting with Geno Smith, man. You know, it was good. The hype was good. You know, obviously, especially with the year Russell Wilson having, it was like, okay, they need a feel-good story in Seattle, but he's not the future, man. You know, so hopefully they'll go get somebody in the draft and go get something that's going to be liable. And right now, man, the Jets control their own fate right now, man. So I like the offense a lot better underneath for Mike White. Seattle's still a tough place to play, but I think with that defense, man, the Jets can pick up the dub. So give me the Jets, man, and take the over. You'll never take Seattle with an under pick, but let me take the over in this pick. All right. The next game is 49ers, 6.5 point favorites with Brock Purdy going against the Raiders. Raiders is just, hey, Derek Carr getting benched. They're going to start the other boy. Derek Carr probably ain't going to be there by next year. He won't be there. He won't be starting for the Las Vegas Raiders. Right now, I think they just scratching their head. It was a kind of disappointing season, man, and I think they realize it's a disappointing season. They can't get it done with Derek Carr. Too many turnovers. And you go against the #1 defense in the league right now, man. The 49ers is real deal. It's still one of them games though. You know, it's the Bay. You know what I mean? Oakland was the Bay, now they Vegas. It's in Vegas, which means nothing to me. It's one of them funny games though. But give me the 49ers, man. Give me the 49ers at home on the road. And the Raiders ain't stopping nobody. But give me the under in this game because I think the 49ers will be able to stop them, especially with that defense, man. They got a crazy defense out there. Our next game, which is really a good game, man, is the Packers, Green Bay Packers, 3.5 point favorites over the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins, man, he playing a good year. He having a good year. I can't say nothing about Kirk Cousins, man. Like, you know, it working for him. Right now, I think A-Rod is starting to get confidence in his team, though. I think the receivers are starting to get that time. Is starting to get there. It took almost all year to get there, but right now, man, Green Bay is playing good football. I think that game last week against Miami, I think Miami was probably suffering from the concussion that he didn't know because they really had the game, man. He just gave the ball up in the fourth quarter, man. Back-to-back turnovers, man. That's how they won the game, and Green Bay did enough in order to win. I like them at home in the Lambeau. I think they'll get it done against Minnesota. Minnesota can afford to lose. They're going to win a division. Um, they'll probably end up being the 3 seed coming out, because Philly will be the one. More than likely, I could see San Fran jumping up being the 2, and Minnesota being the 3 seed. Um, they're still going to be hosting the game first round. So really, it's just a division game. And right now, I think the Packers are playing real good football enough where they'll get in. And if they get in, they could be a threat, man. They could be a threat. It's a long shot for them to make it, but it's going to keep it interesting for next week. So I'm looking about what team's going to keep it interesting for next week. So I like Aaron Rodgers, man, them boys, man, and I think they'll put enough points where it'll be an over pick, man. So give me Aaron Rodgers, I'm at home, and the over. Um, the next game is the Chargers, man. The Chargers 6.5 point favorites over the Rams. I'm not getting fooled by Baker Mayfield game he had, man, against the Denver Broncos. The Broncos gave up. Plain and simple, man. They gave up. Russell Wilson wasn't getting undone. The defense definitely have given up. When they get beat that bad, that by the Rams with backups, man, you already know what it was. They was begging for the coach to get fired. They was begging for Russell Wilson to get benched. They was begging for him. The play showed it, man. So I'm not really overly convinced with the Rams with that win, And I think right now the Chargers is really playing, their best football at the right time. They made the playoffs last week. So right now at this point, it could be a Rams cover because of the fact that I don't think that the Chargers really going to come out there and really, what's the momentum? They can't jump up a spot. They kind of locked their spot in. They're going to be the 5th seed coming out. Yeah, the 5th seed coming out. So at this point, what are we playing for? So I'll take the Rams just for the fact that I don't think that the Chargers will, play their best football. For what reason? They'll probably play the starters the first half and probably sit them in the second half. So give me the Rams for the points, man. And just an over-under pick. Give me the under. I can't take the over. Give me the under in this game. In our 8 o'clock game, you got the Ravens, 2.5 point favorites against the Steelers. The over-under is 35.5, which it should be. First and foremost, I like the under. And far as this pick, Tyler Huntley, he's good enough in offense. Lamar, by right, shouldn't play no more because I don't know what you got to show these people. Like, seriously, man, they should have been cut that check. They should have been paid this man. The offense is a whole different offense with that man in there. He's a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? And for y'all to sit there through the whole year and hope this man get injured, hope this man mess up his contract, why would I want to play for a team that don't want to pay me right, man? Why would I? I am top 10 quarterback, top 5 quarterback of this league. You feel me? All pro quarterback of this league. And you don't want to pay me no paper? All right, cool. Then guess what? I'm going to sit the rest of the year and then I'll just shop around. And somebody going to pay that man at $230. I promise you they're going to pay him, man. So I'm like the Steelers, man. I like the Steelers come in there, man, get it done. Y'all, I think they playing their best football right now. Thomason still going to end up being an 800 for the year, so he'll have a winning season. He won't have a losing season. I think Kenny Pickett is really starting to find rhythm with his receivers, man. The defense is different with T.J. Watt there. T.J. Watt there. So it's the Steelers for me. You know what I mean? I don't think that the Ravens been dominating nobody. They've been getting by with their defense, so I know it's gonna be a defensive game. But I think Pittsburgh will be able to get it done, man. So give me the Steelers in this game, man. And for a Monday night game, y'all, we got it's gonna be the game for me. It's gonna be the game on Monday. It's the game of all games for me. You got the Buffalo Bills, man, 1.5 point favorites going against the Bengals in Cincinnati, with a 49.5 point spread. It's gonna be a good game, man. It's going to be a good game, y'all. But I like Joe Burrow at home, man. I like Joe Burrow at home. Joe Burrow and them boys playing that playoff football right now. Them boys been playing some good football in the second half of the season. And I'm not taking them from Josh Allen, man, because, he's definitely MVP caliber quarterback, man. But it's a lot of holes that's still missing on that team, man. They can't really run the ball like that. It's going to be a shootout, y'all. So it's definitely going to be a shootout. Give me the over in this game and give me Joe Burrow, man. Joe Cool, man. Give me Joe Montana the second coming, man. Yeah, so I'm liking the Bengals. I hope that y'all hit, man. I hope that y'all could take these picks. Obviously, man, ain't nobody going to go 15-15. This is impossible, y'all. But I like my percentage, man. I know I'm gonna be over 500, man, and I probably only gonna miss probably like 3 or 4 games. You just gotta pick your 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all cash in, get this money, man, and we out.